Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm gonna turn this here. See if I can turn this around, so you can see the lake that I'm at right here. And while you're looking at that, and I'm talking to you, I'm gonna try to look on my navigator here. And what am I doing? Pull that back up. I'm trying to see if I can. Does it not show that this is a boat launch or what? Okay, I guess I'm going to have to exit out of it. There we go, Clear Lake Landing. Hey! I'm going to click on it. Get some information about it and see if it's open 24 hours. That's good to know. So since it's open 24 hours, that means I can... when I can afford the gas, this is another place I could stay. And what's nice to know about that, I gotta think which direction I'm heading here. Okay, so 24 hours and okay, let's go back to so that's north right there. So I am aiming right now, I'm aiming east southeast a little bit, so the wind wouldn't be coming at me here too often. Well, some days it is a little bit right now, but I haven't got a flag flying here either. But now if the wind was coming from the southeast and had a nice breeze going, this would be a perfect spot in the summer when it's hot, because you get that cool air coming off of the lake and it helps cool you down when it's getting too hot. Because I can't run my air conditioner because I don't have a generator, and my battery bank system, I think I could run it. I got to finish putting my big 4-aught wires on from my batteries to my inverter, and I think I could maybe run it, but it would drain my batteries pretty quick because I got 400 watts of solar in my air conditioner pulls, I'm going to guess, about 12 to 1500 watts. So I'm pulling 3 to 4 more times energy than I can put in with my solar, even if I have the sun right at high noon over me. You know, so I could probably run it for, I'm going to guess, from all the stuff I've watched online, I should be able to run it at least 4 or 5 hours. And I actually technically should get 6 at least out of it before my batteries would go dead. That's even if I had no solar. So because I got 400 watts going, if I did the math, I might be able to squeeze 8 hours out of it. But then my batteries would be depleted, and then I'd be no good for the night, you know, for through the night or whatever, you know. So my system isn't quite big enough. They got 12-volt air conditioners I've been thinking about possibly getting, but I want to do more, find out more reviews or see one in action working, and how cold it actually blows and stuff. Everybody's got pretty good reviews, so I'm thinking I want to do it, because then, whereas this air conditioner pulls, this is an off topic for most people here for this channel, but as the air conditioner in here, I might have to turn this around unless you want to keep looking at the lake. You want to keep looking at the lake? You're going to look at my ugly mug. Well, it's not ugly. I'm an alright looking dude. I think, anyway. I hope so. I hope I'm not repulsive. So, what the heck? You guys always get to see me. I think I'll just leave it on the lake for now. I could give you a quick flash here over here. Ta-da! Here I am. Okay, now back to the lake. So, whereas this electric air conditioner that pulls 12 to 1500 watts, which even in really hot weather, it keeps it nice and cool in here. But I got to be plugged into 30 amp service, or if I can do 20 amp or whatever with an adapter, but then I can only run just the air conditioner. You know, I can't turn on no, I couldn't run a microwave for that. With a 20 amp service, I gotta shut off the air conditioner to do a microwave, which I don't have right now anyway. I gotta get one in here yet. I threw the old one out because it took too much power. and then there's this air conditioner that pulls 12 to 1500 watts. That 12 volt air conditioner pulls like, I want to say, I'm just throwing general remembrance figures at you. On startup, when the compressor's kicking in, it pulls like 400 and something, 420 or 460 watts or something max, I think, on startup. And then once the compressor gets going, then it drops down to like 200 watts or something like that, or less or something like that, somewhere in that range. Well, at that range, so then if I'm just pulling 200 watts, 500 to 200, depending on when the compressor's kicking in or not, compared to 12 to 1500 watts, well, then I could run, in theory, I'd have to try it out, but in theory, I might be able to run on a sunny day, when it's hot, I might be able to run that 12 volt air conditioner nonstop and never deplete my batteries. Because I got 400 watts of solar, even though it's not going to be putting out 400 watts depending on the angle of the sun. But because I got the battery bank, I could run it probably pretty much non-stop, except for in the night when the sun goes down, but then it's not going to be as hot when the sun's not cooking. So once the sun starts going down and it's cooled off in here a bit, then I could just shut it off, and then if it starts getting a little warm, I could turn it on a little later, cool it down a bit, shut it off again. But I think that I could pretty much stay cool. Well, I'm already kind of cool. I mean, see what I mean? I'm cool. Had to do it. Popped into my head while I was talking about it. So that's another thing that I'm babbling about. Oh my. Now, I don't think there's no Wi-Fi here, but I've been looking into Wi-Fi range extenders and stuff. That's what I was looking at Camping World there. And I've been doing some research online, and there's a couple different ones out there. And I've known about different stuff like that for a while, but they've come way down in price and gotten better with range too. Now, seen one the other day that was omnidirectional antenna that claimed it could pull a signal up to 2 miles away. And that's amazing. That's probably with open line of sight, so there's not a bunch of buildings blocking it in the way, But still, that's really impressive. Which would mean, in this case, across this lake, anything over there that had an open Wi-Fi signal that you didn't need a password for or something like that, I'd have internet right here, So that's kind of cool to think about. And then they got directional ones. They're kind of like a little radar dish or that you can aim towards the Wi-Fi signal. So they got ones that are automatic too that'll scan, and it'll do a 360 scan, and it'll pick up every signal while it's scanning within its bandwidth or whatever. Well, I shouldn't say bandwidth, because that's bandwidth is data coming in, but it is a kind of its bandwidth for whatever its projection out is. But then in that section, it'll pick up, it remembers where this Wi-Fi signal came from, then where the one there, where that is, and each name that's coming in for the Wi-Fi signal, it's identifying each one as it does its 360. Then you can pick whichever one you wanted out of that, and then it'll automatically turn the antenna back to that Wi-Fi signal and stop right there. And then when it's an omnidirectional, is 360 degrees, so it's got any signal from around, which is nice in one aspect, but then that means there's other radio signals. Like if you're getting the Wi-Fi over here, say on this side, and you got all these other radio signals in between that this antenna can pick up, that can interfere and garble and slow your transmission down. Whereas if you just got a tight beam aiming that way, everything that's outside of that beam isn't interfering with that flow anymore. So having a dish or a guided one like that will get you a cleaner stream and stronger connection, better data, So, and further distance, I'm sure. It's the best way I can explain it right now. But I hope that made sense. Like I said, I talk about all kinds of different weird stuff on this channel. But like I said, it all adds up to getting to know me. And the more you know me, the more you can see who I am and my faith in the Lord. And I'm not just some con artist, trying to, what did they call them in the old days? The snake oil salesman. Yeah, I'm not no sideshow tonic sales guy or something. Yeah, it's pretty here though. I'm glad I stopped here, and I'm glad that I know where this is. That I checked out. I knew it was here before, but I've never stopped, so I'm glad I pulled in here today. And actually, I got to think about where I'm at here. One of my mom's friends. Yeah, I should look on the map here. I can figure it out right now. The way I'm aiming on the map, I can figure it out. So, wow, so she's right over here. I can't see, I don't know. I'd have to go out by the lakeshore, but my mom and dad, people we used to go camping with and stuff, their house is like right over there. Or wait a minute. No, wait a minute. No, I got this wrong. I gotta think about this here. Nope. It's not. It's over further. It's so if that dips over there. So no, they're more right over in this, straight across from me over there. So actually, if I got out, especially if I grabbed my binoculars or something, I don't know where none of them are right now. In the 4 years I've lived in this, everything was so traumatic when I had to move into it. I got stuff that I hope is still in here. I tried to put my most expensive stuff in that. I tried to pack in here because I knew if this was going to be my home, it was the most logical place to have it. And then some stuff, because I didn't have room for everything. A lot of stuff went into storage units. I had 2 storage units that I lost both of them. But until that kind of messes up my brain there when I talk about that. This little bird's walking along with his head bobbing. It's like a little starling or something. But it was also all that traumatic stuff. I just tried to pack my expensive stuff in here. So I'm hoping I still have I've got a monocular. I even got a night vision monocular, and I've got what else do I got? Yeah, my night vision monocular is like a spotting scope kind of a deal, kind of a thing. But and then I've got the smaller set of binoculars somewhere. I hope that stuff's in here because that's more of my kind of like survival hiking kind of stuff that I hope it's in here. Sometimes I'm almost afraid to start getting organized in here because I'm going to start realizing stuff that I don't have no more. Which will be a tough spot time for me a little bit, because I had a lot of cool stuff that I worked hard and spent a lot of money on. But it is what it is. I try not to think about it too much because I don't want to get feeling all blah. But it's going to get better. I know it will. And I already told God when I had to let go of the storage units because the good stuff wasn't happening yet then. And I thought, well, maybe, Lord, maybe you want me to lighten my load for whatever you got ahead of me. Because, the more stuff you got, the more anchored down you are and with stuff. And I wanted to lighten my load for a long time anyway. I even talked to my mom about it a lot, about lightening the load at the house and stuff. Well, sad that it had to come to tragedy for a lot of stuff to happen, but I'm still here. Now God's got me on a mission of helping more people and talking about them more. That's why I started this channel. And that's why I am babbling on about it. And to remind anybody that's new to the channel, I just turn on this camera and I just start talking. And I am pretty dang impressed with myself. Not pride to where I'm like, ooh, I'm good, not like that. But I am impressed with that I'm getting more used to the camera and can do it. You know, just to sit in front of a camera and try to talk about stuff. And the fact that I've made so many videos now, I have my boring dead moments, you know, or dead, you know what I mean, dead air time where I'm like either zoning out or something that I'm not talking about, telling a story or sharing knowledge, kind of like I was just doing with the solar and the air conditioning and the difference in volts and watts and usage and all that kind of stuff. You know, and sometimes I might be talking about psychological stuff or family healing or you know, and I'll talk about the little good Lord and scripture and stuff a lot. Sometimes while I'm talking on camera here, while I'm talking, I'll start talking to God, you know, and then I'll come back to the camera, you know. But for anybody new, yeah, I just turn on the camera and let it rip, you know. And I'd throw a challenge out to any of you, just so you can understand me better. Try it once. Well, you got your phone, you probably, you know, so you got a phone or a tablet or something. Get it set up for record, like you're doing a selfie. Set it up in front of you. And you don't have to put it on the internet or nothing, you know. But just turn it on and start talking and see if you can do a 15-20 minute deal. Actually, if you do it while you're thinking, do it and think about putting it on the internet, even though you don't have to, you know. But use your imagination that you're gonna put it on the internet and the whole world can see it, you know. And then turn that camera on and see what you come up with. When I first tried it, because I did not want to be on camera, when I first tried it, I was like, you know, turned it off. Okay, that ain't working. You know, I did not want to be on camera, so in the beginning I had a couple things in the beginning that I like tried recording and I shut it off. Start recording, I shut it off. You know, like I can't put that up. You know, that sounds stupid. I can't even talk. But yet, in general public, talking to people, as you've seen with or maybe that was the last, or was it this video? I think it was this video. When I was talking with the guy before I left camping work. You know, I interact with public well, but yeah, so it took me a little bit to get used to this camera. And right now I'm leaning on the armrest on the passenger seat. Kind of neat. Guess I take this one down and lean on this one, but I can't lean over as far. This way I can drive gangster like. I gotta get me another fedora. Put these on, get a fedora on, roll my camper down the road like this. Yeah. Pick some cool music. Something bluesy, jazzy or something maybe. I don't want to have that banging bass. I like a lot of that music, the hip-hop rap stuff, because I like dancing, you know. But if I was going to roll like that, I'd want to have something kind of more classy, a little jazzy, bluesy kind of, with the R&B, but a little jazzy, bluesy mixed in with it or something. Hey, we got a school bus pulling in over there. I better turn this so you can keep an eye on him. There, I hope you can see that school bus out my window. I think you can. I'll let him sneak up on me now. If he starts sneaking up towards my window and I'm not looking, you better let me know. I hope you will, so I don't get scared. Well, I might not get scared, but he might startle me. There's a difference, you know. I can get startled. Just because I'm startled don't mean I'm scared. What time is it anyway? 3 o'clock. Urgent notice message. Special election status. Check in progress, something, yada, yada, yada. Yep. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I got a suspicious bus to my left that might sneak up on me. Oh. Well, I should cut this one short. Or not short, because it's already getting long. Yeah, I had almost 20 minutes, I think. I can't read that little tiny printing. Yeah, it looks like 1930. So, once again, as always, well, not always, but a lot of the time, talk to God. Whether you're happy, sad, and I know for a lot of people, probably not as goofy as me, that'll talk to God right in front of everybody, but that's okay. Don't get worried about that. When you're by yourself, talk to God. You know, let him know what's on on your mind. And if you really can't talk to him out loud, you can think it and he'll hear you. But when you're by yourself, talk to him. Voice yourself. Let him hear you. Just let him know what you're thinking. Even if you're happy or thankful, let him know the things you're thankful for. Of course, that's very important. I'm sure you're thankful you still got woken up and are alive and breathing. And like in my situation, I'm thankful I'm getting to sit right in front of this lake here and have a pretty view. Thank you, Lord. And if there's things you're not happy about, let them know that too. Like, I could be like, Lord, I've been out of work for a while, but I appreciate you keep sending me help to get me through the winter so I didn't freeze to death and I didn't go hungry. I appreciate that. But I'm ready for financial abundance, Lord, and I hope it's coming soon. I appreciate that when it gets here. I mean, I'm a little more impatient and wish it would have already happened. See? That's what I'm talking about. And ain't nobody here to hear me, although I'm making a video about it, so a lot of people get to hear me and see it. But yeah, talk to them. And when you do, if you want, tell them Darren said hi. And this little thumb doesn't look so big right now, asking for a thumbs up, but look at that. I put it up here, bigger than my head. Thumbs up. Thank you very much. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next one.